Good evening. I'm your host, Apollo Tweed. In tonight's main report, find out how Toyota might just be saving the life of your Toyota Tacoma. Here on the Tacomaholic channel, I do mini-mod videos, avoid the steal-a-ship maintenance videos, off-roading videos, all kinds of product reviews related to Tacomas. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead and subscribe now. Alright guys, a few days ago in the mail, I received a letter from Toyota which I thought was just more junk mail because I feel like I get like weekly things from Toyota dealerships in my area, offering to buy my vehicle and letting me lease a brand new third-gen base model Tacoma at a great deal, supposedly. So I almost just threw it away without opening it, but I'm glad I opened it and checked it out because it has to do with the infamous Toyota Tacoma frame rust issue.
Infamous?
So I figured I'd go ahead and make a quick video. I'll read some parts of this letter to you guys specifically, and other parts I'll just sort of go over the highlights. In case you have not gotten one of these, it might be on the way. This is just for certain states, mostly primarily northern states, obviously, dealing with states that salt the roads, put down the brine for winter driving conditions, which we all know does not mix well with the frames of our Tacomas. Okay, so to start out, Toyota says, we have received a number of reports regarding vehicle frame corrosion, perforation on certain 2011 to 2017 model year vehicles, Tacoma vehicles. These reports have indicated that these vehicles, when operated in specific cold climate areas, cold climate states, with high road salt usage or exposed to other environmental factors, may exhibit more than normal corrosion to the vehicle's frame. Nothing new there. Our records indicate that your vehicle is registered in one of these states, and my state is Virginia, if you did not know. Next, they go on to list the states that this program they're talking about will apply to. I'll go ahead and put those states on the screen now so you can check it out, but just to quickly go over it, this covers the District of Columbia, Connecticut, Delaware, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Maryland, Maine, Minnesota, Michigan, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Virginia, obviously, Vermont, Wisconsin, and West Virginia. So if you do not live in one of those areas, I would assume you're not going to get one of these letters. Next, it goes on to mention that although the vehicle's frame is covered by Toyota's new vehicle limited warranty, which is 3 years, 36,000 miles, whichever comes first, we at Toyota care about the customer's ownership experience. The customer support program provides coverage as it applies to the vehicle's frame, specifically in this case, frame corrosion perforation, and they say, if the condition is verified and meets the program's rust perforation standard, the vehicle will be repaired with a new vehicle frame under the terms of this customer support program. Now, what I've gone over so far probably isn't news to any of you. I know there's, the huge frame recall out where you take your truck in, get it inspected at whatever Toyota dealership, and at that point they either replace or choose not to replace the frame based on whatever guidelines and specs they have predetermined. That's not new. The new part comes up next, where they're saying in addition to this frame replacement, Toyota is about to announce a limited service campaign to apply CRC, which stands for corrosion resistant compound, I assume that's some kind of spray, to the frame for vehicles registered in a cold climate state. And again, this sounds like it's something free of charge, and I would assume that you would be able to get this free of charge even if your frame does not meet the conditions where it's not rusted enough to actually get replaced. And again, I assume Toyota is going ahead and spraying frames with this compound because it's cheaper to do that than to replace frames, so trying to sort of head off this problem, which has been a massive headache for a lot of us. And Toyota will send a separate notification letter once that program is announced, so not available just yet. Now, a buddy of mine and I were just talking about this yesterday, but Toyota, they do have the right to refuse replacing your frame, and I believe this is sort of subject to each individual dealership, but if you have things like aftermarket products like weld-on sliders, mine are bolt-on, or like aftermarket shock towers that are like welded onto the frame of your truck, or I don't know, hammer hangers, anything like that that is attached to the frame of your truck, Toyota can refuse to replace the frame. So either go to a different dealership if you have that stuff, or of course you can remove it, which sounds like it would be a giant pain in the ass to cut off sliders and all that, but that's sort of the way it goes. That gives them an out to not replace a frame if you've modified anything. So just keep that in mind if you do have anything welded onto your frame. Now personally, I'm not too worried about the rust on my frame. I'm always under the truck looking at my frame, doing, you know, whatever to my truck. There are very minor like surface rust spots, but nothing where it looks like there's any kind of structural damage where the frame looks like it needs to be replaced. I might just take it in anyway just to see what they say, but one important thing to mention is once this CRC campaign is announced, and again, it's not available yet, but once it is announced and you do get one of these letters, you do have 2 years from the date on your notice letter to get your frame sprayed with that CRC product. Otherwise, you will not be available to get your frame replaced in the future. So even if your frame looks fine, go ahead and take it in, get it sprayed with this stuff whenever that's available. I plan on doing that too. And I'll update you guys and let you know what kind of the process is and what to expect. All right guys, quick public service announcement style video today. Comment below, let me know if you have received one of these letters and what you plan to do about it. And also comment below if you live in one of these, if you don't live in one of these states, but it seems like you do have a frame rest issue on your Tacoma anyway. Curious to see what Toyota's going to do about that. As always, thanks so much for supporting the channel by watching this video. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, smash the like button, and stay tuned for the next video.